very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us on Atlantic Network Television. Saturday, we call it 18 Saturday. 18 Saturday is a syndicated live program of the network featured in conversation on special interest topics. We talk about news, events, and stories with correspondent reports, expert opinions, and stakeholders' analysis. The concept of the show is actually conversation between the anchor and the guest about trending issues through an unscripted format conversation in the studios here and virtual means. So it runs from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Saturday and has musical, it has fashion, food, health, and lifestyle topics as well as celebrity performances. So today we shall look at the following topics. River State advertisers reject appointment of people as the managing director. River State court fixes dates to commence APC hearing. We're also going to look at what is happening in Abia State and the LEA Otis wife reinforced war against drug abuse. And on Niger State, we have a government to spend 976 million naira on Ramadan feeding. These are very interesting issues. And on governance, we look at President Tinubu want to repeal Students' Loan Act. Now, we will move on into the National Assembly. FCT 1.1 trillion naira appropriation bills case second reading at Senate. And we also have this report coming from the MBS. Nigeria's inflation rate rises to 31.7%. And on marriage, Israel DMW's estranged wife debanks engagement rumor. Nollywood Timi takes a break from acting. These are the stories we're going to look at after now. But we're going to embark on a short break. When we come back, I'm going to introduce the guests we have for this beautiful morning. Stay tuned.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
You human trafficker.
Honourable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
very good morning once again, and thank you for joining us on ATN Saturday. My name is Angel Nwokoma. On this morning, I have a beautiful people. I have a wonderful people, iconic people here. I have Barrister Asim Adams is here to really, I said, the issues we are going to talk about. I also have Frank Enawaji Oguonono. He's a public affairs analyst, while Adams Asim is a legal practitioner. So I have them. Good to have you, sir. I'm so pleased to have you on the show this morning. So how are you doing this morning?
We're doing fine.
I know you really find it a little bit difficult to get to the studio.
Of course, the weekend sleep was on this call.
All right.
Yes,
you're welcome. I'm so
thank you
pleased to
very
have
much
you.
for inviting us.
All right, now let's look at the stories that are going on. Let's take, first of all, River State Advertising Practitioners Association Port Harcourt chapter has rejected the appointment of non-advertising practitioner as a head of River State Signage and Advertisement Agency. Chairman of Advertising Practitioners Association, Dr. DK, in a statement issued in Port Harcourt, says the appointment of a non-practitioner as managing director of the agency is unacceptable. Aberration and violates provisions of the RISA law and the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria Act 2022. Dr. DK stated that the appointment of a substantive MD for the agency should follow the process of the law and not for political patronage. Now, according to him, a substantive MD for RISA must be a practitioner of advertising and is certified by ACON as a practitioner as well as chairman and board for the agency. The appointment of non-practitioners is a slap on the practitioners and tantamount to engaging quacks to run the affairs of advertising and marketing communication in Rivers State. He went further to say that the association further urged the state government to rescind this decision on the appointment and appoint the agency leadership from within the pool of members of Advertising Practitioners Association in Rivers State who are certified and registered by law to practice advertising in the country. Now, recall that Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara, in a statement by Dr. Tami Wenike Danagogo, the Secretary to the State Government, approved the appointment of IAA Pebble as the Managing Director of Rivers State Signage and Advertising Agency. Okay, now let's look at the stories right now. I think you've really seen it. The River State advertisers, they reject the appointment of Pepper because they appointed him, and they are trying to say that because he doesn't belong to them and he is not part of the body, part of the agency, that he is not really qualified to be appointed as a MD. I just want to go straight to you, Barrister Adams Asim. What do you have to say on that?
Thank you very much. You know, from what I learned the last time, I found out that RISA is under the law, is under an enactment, you know, from the House of Assembly of Rivers State. So it means that its establishment, you know, came under the law. It's not a private limited company. Therefore, you have the laws that says these are the preconditions for appointment, retirement, resignation, etc. of whosoever that want to man that particular body. The governor can appoint. But the laid down rules are well encapsulated, like the practitioners have said. The question we've been asking, or they are asking particularly, is that why shunt, you know, the queue? Why choose from outside of the family of those who are, you know, doing their job? For instance, if you want to appoint the Attorney General of Rivers State, you have to choose among the folds of a man that has been called to the Nigerian bar. And supposedly, the so-called man also ought to be seen to be practicing law. You know, practicing law is not just going to court alone. Practicing law is, you know, anything that has to do with or associated with, you know, legalities or judicature, etc. as it may be. So, but when you go out to go and pick an influential man who is not there, you make him the AG, then you have created, a big problem. Because one, he will not know exactly where he runs foul of the law. Etc. There may be chaos. So what these guys are saying is that, apart from the fact of what I've explained just now, they also belong to a body. They say there's a body they call Practitioners Association, which is registered under the law. They have juristic persona and personality. Therefore, they can act like a pressure group. And the other chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution, you find that you have the right to belong to an association. Nobody can take that away from you. And your association can civilly do a lot of things to put pressure on areas that you feel that you have been neglected. That is what they're effectively doing. So what I feel right now is that the man who is called Pepo, I don't know his pedigree, I don't know his antecedent. But Nigeria has become more an all-commerce affair. That is why you see a man who has first class in chemical engineering will go to one of the banks and start being a cashier. He start dispensing cash. You now wonder and ask yourself the question, why did he go, to this university to go and read chemical engineering instead of empowering and trying to create more jobs for people in his industry? He veered up because he said that is what is available to me. And that's where I have contacts. And so they gave me job. I'm working in the bank.
That's where I just wanted to come in, because when you just try to say that, well, if you're not a lawyer, you're just trying to pick up that one. Yeah, if you want to appoint the Attorney General of the Federation, and then you are not a lawyer, I don't think even the body, the NBA body, will really allow the individual to really supervise them or look into the matter, because where you're coming from, you must have a background knowledge, because if you don't have the background knowledge, you'll not be able to pilot the affairs very well, just like someone. Now, I just want to come to you, and Frank let me just hear your own opinion, because they are talking about that is really politically based, is politically masterminded. That's why they had to appoint people. And now the body said, no, if it is not among the advertising agency and the signage agency, that is not qualified to pilot the affairs of them. So what can you say about that?
Well, I want to say that they have a good case, but mind, considering what is on ground, this is not the first time that somebody has been appointed who is not maybe a professional in that particular area of appointment. I remember something happened in America. I know a man called Dr. Ben Carson, neurosurgeon. He ventured into politics. He contested the primaries of the Republican with Donald Trump. When Donald Trump eventually won the election, he appointed him. He gave me an appointment as U.S. Secretary of Housing. This is a professional doctor, a neurosurgeon. Now, there are some positions, appointments that politically you can be there. It has happened. This is not the first time. Like we were discussing, even in Agric, even in Bayelsa, in some states. I'm not saying that professionals should not be, but there are issues that, based on political appointment, some people are allowed to aid some ministries. While, like Adam has said also, the issue of, for instance, a medical doctor should be in charge of Ministry of Health. That one is sacrosanct.
Okay, that means you're trying to
yes,
say
there are appointments you don't need
the professionals to
no, so far as you're in politics, because one, yes, I know I'm saying this, even in federal level, it has happened.
Okay.
But like I said, what they are saying is not wrong. But there are things that ordinarily, giving you tutorial, you can manage as a leader. All you need is bringing people together. Like those who are talking now, they need also to work with him. What is doesn't know? It's not a Nigerian thing. It's a global issue in terms of politics. You know, politicians, they want people who work with them to drive home their objectives and their visions. And so when you see what is happening, it's about the issue of a kind of pressure group. This is our own. But mind you, when the politics was going on, how many of them ventured into it? Because by the time you know, politics is about interest. If you protect me, I protect you. I am not saying that they don't have a good case. But it's not every appointment that you must pick people from a fold. You pick people who play politics with you.
Okay, now maybe considering some people's antecedents, those who have managed the, so many things could really be involved in making sure that they deviate in choosing outside of the body.
That is it.
To help them. That's what
I'm saying. And again, it is the duty of these people that the advertisers now to close rank with the person appointed.
Okay.
It's not like I said. This is a political appointment. Like I also know. There is an appointment, you don't put anybody, you don't pick anybody from anywhere. You pick people who are professional.
Okay.
To head the department or to aid the ministry. Like this is a prerogative of the state government. The government has the right. The government has the right to appoint anybody. But what I'm trying to say is that this is a good case for them.
Okay.
But the appointment has been made.
Okay.
They need to also work with the person. What he doesn't know, it's not even the lawyers. So they don't even know what they are doing there. They need the effort of their colleagues.
Okay, at this point, I think that's the much we can take on that story. I think they are really watching now. You have this opinion that it is not really quite bad in consideration of other things. You just really want to make just a quick one, right? A very quick one.
Very quick one.
Yes, because we are heading to another story.
My quick one is this. The Constitution says when a statute, prescribe a particular way a thing should be done, that particular thing should be done in that particular way as prescribed by the statute. I said it when I said that RISA is an establishment of the law. You understand? The law provides that, look, for you to be, whatever as the case may be, you have to be an advert practitioner. If you deviate from it, for me, is for me, it's a nullity. Politics can be played. If you want to appoint your chief of staff, nobody questions your criteria. Your commissioners, nobody questions your criteria. Head of water board, nobody questions. But, RISA is a specialized, agency, just like you have the MBA, you have the NMA, the insurance world.
Okay, I think you said it's a very quick one. Let me cut you off on that.
Thank you very much.
And he said it's okay because he's a legal practitioner. Adams here, Barrister Adams Asim is a legal practitioner. So that's why he's saying he wants the right thing to be done, that you must appoint from the body, Well, anyway, I think the government also have their own hand. They have their highest hand in appointing whosoever they wish to appoint. But I think they have to do it in collaboration with the executives to make sure that everything really will go on smoothly. Now let's look at the stories. Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt is scheduled to commence full hearing on May 13, 2024, regarding a lawsuit filed by Chief Emeka Beke-led state executives of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in Rivers State against the national executives and members of the 7-man caretaker committee in the state, headed by Tony Okocha. The suit filed by Sam Ejetegun on behalf of himself and all the elected executives of the APC in the state also includes the Inspector General of Police, the Nigeria Police Force, and the Independent National Electoral Commission as defendants. When the matter came up for hearing in court, a counsel to the APC state executives, Collins DK, requested time to respond to all processes filed by the defendants, a request not opposed by the defendant's counsel. Presiding Judge Justice Sika Aprioko, after considering the counsel's submissions, advised the parties to file and respond to the processes, and subsequently adjourned the case until May 13, 2024 for further hearings. Aprioko also adjourned to the same date on a separate suit filed by local government and ward elected executives of the APC against the national leadership of the party. the Okocha-led 7-man caretaker committee, the Inspector General of Police, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. The plaintiffs are seeking reinstatement of and judicial interpretation of the actions of the NWC of the APC, having previously secured ex parte orders to serve the originating summons and other processes to the defendant, especially the first and the second defendants, through substituted means. Now, I hope you really got this one. The court about they are fixing date to commence APC hearing. First of all, you know what is going on with the NWC, what the APC state. I think there was a suspension somewhere. Now, what can you say about this? That is actually is really on the way, very, very soon.
Well,
what can you say about that?
Okay, I think
Yes.
I feel I have my own stand on this, so I'll say I'll make a biased opinion. You know, that is based on my understanding. And I never supported this, the group led by Emeka Beke, because they led APC in Rivers State to the doldrum. APC under his leadership and what became very inactive in a comatose state. And APC became bedridden in Rivers State. APC under him was under the is the ICU, they call it, ICU unit of, you know, the hospital, political hospital, until, you know, the National Working Committee, you know, found that instead of the whole of our sheep and whatever to get lost, because the shepherd has lost his rudder, let us see if we can rekindle and revive this. And under the powers given to them, under the APC constitution, they constituted a caretaker committee led by Honorable Tony Okocha, as case may be. And they've been doing very well. They've sensitized, they've come up with some issues that we support them, you know, from day one till today. And if the National Working Committee decide, because that is the highest decision-making organ of any political party. Now, once they decide that, I don't really know how you can upturn it. And the courts have said in several, judgments, you know, that, you see, the organs or the highest organs of the party, you know, once they take their decision, it's not something you come out to now interfere into. Otherwise, you become a meddlesome interloper, like what the courts are saying. That if you come in there, you will be regarded as a meddlesome interloper. Where the courts can even look in is where the rights of parties were breached. Then issue of fundamental human rights will now leave the veil and not allow the judiciary or the courts to come into the party affair. Party affair is a party affair, and the NWC have, in my own opinion, have that allodial and sacrosanct right, you know, to do what now? To appoint that particular committee. And I am glad they did, because that saved APC, you know, from collapse, total collapse, and eradication from the political lithosphere in Rivers State. And I don't know what much the court will do. The proceedings are there. I know that at the end of the day, May 14 or May 13, I will be in court. I want to be in court and really see how, let me see how the judiciary and the court...
Okay, how they are going to handle the case right
how
now.
they're going to handle it, because I'm very interested in this. I know it's not going to be the last. From that particular, you know, level, whosoever, you know, become victorious, you know, we go to the higher courts, or maybe to Supreme Court. But I know at the end of the day, you know, the Okocha-led, committee set by the NWC, you know, we prevail.
All right, now let me go over to you, Frank, now, please. What can you say about
It's
this?
very unfortunate. You see, Nigeria will never get better. This country.
We pray.
No, I'm sorry, we have been praying. You cannot be doing the wrong thing and you expect to get better. I serve God. I don't tell myself I'm a Christian. Let somebody see me as a Christian. This country will not get better until we do the right thing. You see, today, whatever we decide today is about teaching to somebody's interest, because he's the highest person. There is an executive on ground. Let's not be fun to issues. I don't play politics. But the way politics is played, that's why if I have an opportunity to, I can dissolve political parties in this country. And say, look, let us have an independent candidate. But party politics is what is killing our economy, killing our well-being, even killing the way we think. We don't think rational. Just because of politics in this part of the world. And that's why I have been able to look at study politics, look at definition of politics in all manner of books. No place politics is defined as a dirty game. But in Nigeria, so if I want to go into politics, if I want to go into politics today, I'll be called a bad man because of the way we project politics. And that is why sometimes even when in America, pastors are members of parliament. Go there and check. Here, if I want to go into politics to practice politics in Nigeria now, they say Frank has gone into one thing, he has joined one cult group, he has joined one thing, which is not true. See, ordinarily, what is that in APC? For me, is a show of shame, because of vested interest. You're supposed to don't like my face, everything about me, destroy it. That's what I'm saying. Because these people, like he just said, they have a time frame. Why go and dissolve them? Why not reject them? If you talk of a party in the name of our party, not because of one person or somebody, why not reject the party? Form the party. APC for now is the party controlling Nigeria. So if River State is weak, as we have heard, why not come put your interest on River State? Make sure that River State today, APC comes up and be viable. But that has been because one push me aside, being your people, and we are discussing law. There's no morality. Maybe I was told there's no morality in law. If what has happened in APC River State is immorality. For me, they don't go to court to decide by virtue of their tenure, because they have tenure how to serve, and when it elapses, they will go. But for me, to my front mind, what is happening in APC River State is not about legal, it's about vested interest beyond even the ordinary rivers man. It's about people who are there. Mm-hmm. So the law, for me, you know, like when they give judgment in the Supreme Court, people are praising President Tinubu. What does it have to do with the? That's why we bring this about the world. That I cannot stand here and say something. Oh, because Frank doesn't have money to support anybody, so Frank will not be supported. The support people have the money. The support people have, that's why in this country we cannot get it right. We keep praying to God. God help us. God help us. It will be better. It won't be better until we learn to do the right thing, and it will start what we call internal democracy. There's no internal democratic principles in all the parties. Somebody who have the money will just say destroy the structure, destroy the policies, ideologies of government. But even so, I don't want to have to describe what is happening in APC River State. It's about one man affair. Somebody don't like my face, remove me and take over. I'm saying it on the national.
I think it's because he's a man of God.
I think I'm not going to position.
I'm very happy. He believes so much in God. He wants the things.
The right thing should be done. The right thing should be done. And I have observed something. Okay. See, I don't want to mention anybody's name.
Exactly.
I won't mention anybody's name.
No, I wouldn't want to mention anyone because
I follow politics very well.
Because I think yes, I know very well. You
what is happening is
a game of interest. Maybe it's a game of interest.
I know what I'm saying. So it's not about law. Sorry, it's not about law. Whatever we are discussing here,
it's law.
What I'm coming, sir. What happened here is not about law. When you follow law. See, if you are a lawyer, these people were elected.
Okay.
The National Committee woke up one morning and dissolved them.
Have you gone to the constitution of APC?
I am not a novice.
Have you gone through it?
I am not a novice.
No, what I'm asking you, no, not monopolize the time. Let me add something.
Okay.
Don't monopolize the time. You have made your point. Let me make my point. Yes, submit and let me make my point.
You are going to make your point.
You are monopolizing the time. See, I'm coming now.
Let me say,
excuse me.
What is happening in the APC?
You cannot occupy the
It is not. Barrister, you said your own.
Okay.
Allow me to say that.
Now, I've actually gotten your point.
It's not about the APC was weak. It's about better remove this man and put this man for his truth.
All you want, you're just trying to say, is that they have to really do the right thing. Which he's also actually saying. But you're coming from a different perspective.
See, the issue is this. Was there executive?
I just want to take a very quick one from you.
I don't want to mention anybody's name.
I want to go to about the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency now. That's another story. So just very quick one on that. What can you say?
Let me see. Let me
just
see.
a very quick
I'm
one.
very happy that he said that morality or immorality is not part of law. Law does not look. Law is hard. Two, the APC has its constitution, and when you want to look at, you want to play on that paradigm shift of moral suasion and emotions. It does not take us anywhere. In the sense that if they want to act on moral suasion and whatever we have right now, as he's talking about emotions, they would have gone to court. So the matter went to court now. It means that, legally speaking, let the court decide whether Beke-led administration was removed properly or not. In line with the constitution of APC and in line with the constitution of Nigeria. So outside of that, I will not be emotional about whatever that is about to happen right now.
Okay.
I say the way it is. But Nigeria, emotions are taking over our thinking and reasonability.
I think Barrister Adams, that's the most I can take from there. I've really seen how emotional you are. The most of you are becoming already emotional. Boy, you know that. Yes, the hearing is coming very, very soon.
I'll be in court.
I know you're going to be in court, and I hope you also be in court. So that
I'll follow it up.
all right,
I'll be in court.
Let's take a look at this one.
Let's go.
Now let's take a look at this one about the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Abia State Command has called for the setting. They have called for the setting up of a committee against drug abuse in the state to support the war against the menace in the local government and rural communities of the state. Abia State Commandant of NDLEA Adelawa Adechunji made the appeal in Umaya during a visit to the wife of Abia State Governor Priscilla Oti. NDLEA Commandant who said that his command was partnering with the office of the Abia State Governor in eradicating the menace of drug abuse said that setting up of a committee against drug abuse would support the operations of other anti-drug committees in local government areas of the state. He commended the wife of the Abia State Governor for her determination to eradicate drug abuse in the state, saying that the partnership between the NDLEA and the office of the wife of Abia State Governor was for the good of the state. And in her remarks, as you can see in that picture expressions on the monitor, the wife of the Abia State Governor, Priscilla Oti, said the Abia State government was determined to eradicate drug abuse in the state, explaining that her office was partnering with the NDLEA to tackle the challenge. Now, Oti promised that a committee on drugs will be set up to enforce the war against drug abuse in Abia State. Now, you can see the picture expression of the wife of the state governor, Mrs. Oti. That's Oti's wife. Oti's wife, he's reinforcing war against drug abuse in Abia State. I think this is a very welcome development, because if you look at the economy, if you look at the society right now, you know that the economy is really bad. Nigeria economy, this is the worst we have experienced, as a matter of fact, since I was born. Now, coupled with this drug abuse, because yesterday there was a story that a man who, let me just digress a little bit before I just come back to his wife. A man yesterday said because of drug abuse and alcohol and taking some substances, marijuana and all of those, that he raped his daughter, 9-year-old daughter. So yesterday when we advocated that they have to really do something, the NDLE has to really work to make sure that they get this, these teenagers or these adults who are actually abusing drugs, they have to cage them and make sure that something really good is being done, and so that they cannot deviate, and most of them is causing them depression and psychosomatic disturbances. Now, this wife of the governor, Oti, is actually reinforcing war against this drug abuser. Is it a welcome development? I think it's a welcome development. I just want to step you to sir, Frank and
well, I want to say, well, like you said, in Nigeria we always say we always say a welcome development.
Yes,
it's a good one. But there's no way. I'm not a pessimist.
Okay.
I'm not also a prophet of doom. I believe in optimism. There's no way we can eradicate drug intake in Nigeria or in the world, but we can, in a way, minimize the intake. And that's the campaign. And again, if we must do that, can we stop the source? Well, these drugs, whether we believe it or not, the drugs come from various sources into this country. There are some they don't produce here. They move through the borders into this country.
Okay.
People compromise.
Okay.
Sorry. Like the issue of tramadol. Like tramadol in a way, it's like it's not produced in this country. But if you see how tramadol packets over, like the seizure of tramadol worth 5 billion naira in Nigeria. So for me, it's a good one, but they should talk to the conscience of the people who take it and the conscience of the people who also smuggle these things into this country. Because NDLA, I will not say they are not working. They are working. Some of them do. Some of them also compromise. What is happening? This is a system that sometimes the government is actually ready to work. But those enforcers of the laws are the ones who compromise. And so sometimes you see, sorry, I move about, as a reporter, I move about and I say what is happening. People, sometimes you see people compromising, even those who are in government. They are compromising, you see them take it together. Sorry, when I was a boy, I won't mention it, but in the government, I was in the number one place of government in Nigeria. My father took me there. I don't smoke, as I'm telling you, I don't smoke, I don't take any other drink. Doesn't mean if I want to be if I be violent, I won't be violent. But let me tell you, why you see some of you boys take drugs, is that some highly placed individuals in Nigeria and in the world take drugs. So this alone is like they're motivating them.
Okay.
Like my father once told me, yeah, Frank, you don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
Only big people take drugs.
Okay, so in other words, you're actually saying that most of them who are abusing drugs, they actually seen it from those, you know, and that's why they are really taking it. But let me just come to you, Barrister Adams. What can you say about this? Like you just say, it's really quite encouraging to see that he's really trying to get the NDLEA in order to make sure that they curb this drug abuse on the society, particularly in our state. So what can you say about that?
Well, thank you very much. The NDLEA, well, recently they started doing a good job, a great job, you know, under the current leadership. And I know that drugs intake and supply cannot be eliminated, but it can be reduced. Most of the drugs they take in Nigeria here, they are not manufactured, like cocaine. The only drug that is manufactured in Nigeria here that I know is alcohol, because alcohol has now been added to the list of, you know, drugs. Why? A lot of people abuse it. When you abuse about alcohol, some people get drunk, fall into the gutter, etc. Then that is drug abuse. You have now become, you know, a patient for rehabilitation. So the fight, I encourage what Abia State is doing. But you see, we always talk about fighting drugs. Of course, we know that that is very important and key. But we neglect a particular aspect, which is called rehabilitation. Now, I am a victim of one who lost a relation, where till today, I don't know where that young man is. He sauntered into oblivion, and as I speak with you, when I remember the issue of drugs, I want to ask some questions, and I want to ask government directly. When that young man, we didn't know where he was getting the supplies. He was going out in the night. We felt, oh, he was to write his JAMB and do his pre-university, whatever his case may be. So we gave him a little bit of freedom. He just entered the atmosphere, and I don't know, he met some group of people. We didn't really realize that he was on it until a day when he behaved somehow to me and you know, other people in the house, and we thought it was a joke. He started like that, and when I went to work, they called me that I should come back, that he has gotten loose on the street. Now we rushed him to a government hospital that was in Lagos. I don't want to call the name because it's a bitter experience. When we got there in the first instance, they saw the state this young man was. Take this boy and you know, do the needful, rehabilitate, we're ready to pay. But they told us that you can see in the hospital at Yaba, a lot of more than 1,000 youths are lying on the floor. Some are tied to their beds, nobody attending to them. So a nurse came to us and said, yes, you can take him home. He'll be coming here to come and take his medication. So you can see how harrowing that would be for a family like I was working. I need to be in the office as early as possible.
Okay.
So these things do not, they need to look at the aspect of rehabilitation. That is the most important thing.
Okay, so
Yes.
those people who are really found culpable, they had to really rehabilitate them. Is that actually what you're saying now?
That is what I'm saying. That
I
is the
have
biggest problem.
Okay, now I think at this point I want to commend the NDLEA.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I also want to commend the governor's wife, OT's wife.
They are doing
you
well.
know, really, yes, in Abia State. And if they could really come into River State, I think the governor is actually also working very
They are
hard.
doing well also in River
They are also doing well in
Yes.
River State.
But let me tell you
Even in my state as
For
well.
rehabilitation, they have to look at the
Oh, yeah.
rehabilitation.
There is a very sensitive story I
Yes.
just want us to look into.
You know,
Before that, let me tell you too. Let me say sorry. Let me see. When I was a boy,
Just in one
yes,
sentence.
when I was a boy, the issue of knockout.
Okay.
Don't shoot knockout. Oh. If you shoot, police will arrest you. Now the boys will still go to the store and they will see knockout there and they will buy. But who are those importing knockouts into this country? You will tell us if you shoot knockout, you'll be arrested, and that has been even till today. So I pray that the enforcement agencies should not only come to those who are using it, they should also stop those who are manufacturing it, if actually they wanted to stop.
Anyway, I think I quite commend the both of you. It's really easy to really stop the manufacturers. Let us be very sincere. It's not very
it's not very easy.
It's not even easy.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
It's a profit-oriented organization.
Rehabilitation is what I'm. Not rehabilitation.
You say that they have to now go and stop them, man. Most of these drugs, they use them for, so when you say stop the manufacturers, I don't agree with you.
I mean,
there.
knockout.
Even there was a time. I'm sorry. There was a time a particular drug, which was a cough syrup, was now being abused by youths. If you ban, they now ban the importation. The price of that cough syrup, went up. So that to the extent that if you have cough, whatever, and it's recommended, you might not see it to buy in the market. So I don't know. So I just feel that they have to keep on the fight, but please, they have to look at the area of rehabilitation. It's very important.
As the NDLEA, let's take another one. As the NDLEA is working actually very hard to make sure that they really curb the abuse of all these abusers of drugs, and let them make sure that they also build up a rehabilitation center where most of their heads, because most of them are not really thinking it right. But there's a sensitive issue we really want to look into in Niger State. They said Niger State government has budgeted 976 million naira for Ramadan feeding. The Niger State, they have they are going to spend 976 million naira on Ramadan feeding in the 8 emirate councils of the state. And also, assorted grains have been procured to be distributed to all the 25 local government areas, emirate councils, religious leaders, security agencies, and political parties in the state. The state commissioner, okay, now as you can see there, now let's just look at it. They said Niger State government to spend 976 million naira on Ramadan feeding. Of course, there's what Ramadan feeding is all about. They're actually trying to say that they have budgeted these 976 million naira. Remember the economy where we are in Nigeria now. Does it mean, when I was reading these stories, does it mean that they do not have any development? There's no infrastructure to put in place. There is no health. There is nothing to put in place other than channeling this whole whooping amount of money into Ramadan feeding. Now, we are not just trying to be, because these are Christians, these are Muslims. Even if a particular Christian, a particular sect is saying they are going to push this drug, and they are going to push this money into the Ramadan feeding, or maybe we are fasting right now. Now, I don't think it's quite really reasonable you know, so let me just start with you, Barrister Asim Adams. Let me start with you. How they are budgeting this kind of money to Ramadan feeding?
Quickly, let me just react to this. I'm just saying this for the first time. This is why we have said that the Nigerian Constitution, 1999, is a farce. It's nebulous.
Wow.
And at the same time, is a mere piece of paper, the Nigeria document. It has to be amended. Now, Section 10 of the Nigerian Constitution, which in law we call the font et origo. What does that mean is that is the origin and source of the nation called Nigeria. Is the origin and source of the office of the president, the governor, the local government chairman. Now, if you can breach it arbitrarily, just the way the Niger State governor has done, then it becomes something that is very sad. Section 10 says that there shall be no state religion.
Okay.
We're talking about secularity. That Nigeria is a secular state.
Okay.
So you can practice your religion privately, individually, but not on state level. Whether you are the local government chairman, you are the governor, you are the president, you can go and pray, do your prayers on Sunday. Nobody will disturb you, but don't bring it to statecraft. You understand bureaucracy. Now, what they have done is that you are now budgeting a whooping, humongous, monstrous sum of money, 976 million, which is close to $1 billion for feeding. Was that money budgeted for under your budget? That is number one. Number two is this. Why will you budget for a program of religious affinity and relationship, as the case may be? Whereas Section 10 has said you cannot have state religion in Nigeria here. But do you know where most of our governors and presidents, whatever, bypass the Constitution? Is because if you go to Section 2 of the Judicature, you find out that there is what we call Sharia. Sharia was mentioned in our Constitution about 89 times. Then the name Islam, 65 times. And you come to say that the House of Assembly of a state that want to practice Sharia, can make laws for that particular Sharia cause to operate. Sharia is a religious affiliation to Islam. So Islam is a religion that is well known all over the world. So when you now contradict yourself in the Constitution, that you say it's a secular state, that no state shall have any state, any religion as their religion, then you are now going to that judicature to come and say that this can happen. That is where you find out that this is a potpourri of mess that we have in our Constitution. And I believe that is where the governors are lashing in. Otherwise, this is a very wrong move, very illegal one.
Yeah.
In some countries, if it were to be in the US, the Supreme Court will shoot the governor down immediately.